Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. This entire course is presented by Jeremy Burns, and Jeremy asked me to do a special favor. He asked me to reveal to everyone out there, all of his customers, how I make my living. And this is not internet marketing directly. Granted, it is somewhat related, but it's not your typical kind of internet marketing. I make my money on the internet. I make my money online. And I make between $6,000 and $10,000 a month. Now, I'm going to give you a disclosure right now. Just because you do what I do, that's not a guarantee that you're going to make, $6,000 to $10,000 a month. I've been doing this for quite a while. There's a lot of opportunities here, but let me tell you what it is that I do and what this course is going to cover. I create video-based training. I create audio clips. I create video-based promotional clips. And I do all of this with a series of tools, and I have, some things that I do in order to streamline my process. And that's what I'm going to share with you in this video course. The video that you're watching right now, this is a little bit more elaborate than I normally do for a training video, but since this is all about video, I figured I would go ahead and do something a little bit, above the norm. But what we're going to talk about in this course is the opportunities that are available. We're going to talk about the programs that you need to know how to use, the kind of equipment that you're going to need to have. I'm not going to be training you on the specific programs because there are so many of them. Literally, you would have a minimum 4-hour course for each one of them. And again, there's several, almost, I think around a dozen applications that I'm going to be sharing with you. We're going to look at how to find clients. I'm going to take you through the whole process, where to look for them, how to communicate with them, how to structure your pricing, how to figure out how much something is worth and what you should start, charging. Of course, you don't charge the maximum right away because you're new at it and you're going to need some experience. But I'm going to show you how to work things up. As a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and give you some information right now. The very first video training that I did was years ago on Photoshop 7, I believe it was. I did 4 hours of training for $360. Now, that's laughable for me today because I did not know what was really in store. And that's kind of what I want to help you out with. To create 1 hour of training, it's a little bit more than an hour, more like 8 to 10 hours. We'll talk about that later on towards the end of the course. But nowadays, I did 4 hours then for $360. Nowadays, I charge up to $1,200 per hour, and that's on applications that I know about. I don't have to do any research, so that kind of puts things in perspective. I'm also going to share with you my project workflow. That would include how to schedule things, how to plan things out, how to go about getting your script approved if you have to work with scripts. We'll talk about all of that. We'll talk about ways to deliver the content, different formats, what works, what's the most popular, what's the most compatible, and then I'm going to actually show you, we're going to do like a time-lapsed type of project where you can see me working on something and kind of know, we go from step A to step B and step C, etc. And then we'll talk a little bit about the niches that are available, how you can diversify, basically areas that you can get into. There's a lot of different things you can do with media, and it's a very booming business today. So we'll talk about that, and then I've got some resources for you where you can, tools that you'll be able to use in your everyday life doing media work. Some samples that I want to show you, and if you want to go ahead and get some further training on the applications, which I do recommend, we'll also talk about that. Okay, so in the next video, we'll go ahead and get started with programs and equipment.